What's up, y'all? It's D about to react to this Abba and Preach vid. They are beefing with Stevie Knight again. This title reads, Sinners is woke with fat black women. Stevie Knight, that's what he apparently said. Fat black women? There's only one. Who's the other? Fat black woman. It's only one. It's not plural. Anyway, I don't see how that's relevant or what that has to do with literally anything, but sure. Let's hear what Stevie has to say and what Abba and Preach got to say. Let's watch.
The movie Sinners. When Sinners came out, it was written by Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan.
Yes.
Set in 1930s America in the South. And Stevie had a review, and so I was curious because a lot of people had a negative impression of him. And it kind of plays into the image I have of Stevie.
I didn't know how woke the shit was until after I read about all the double meanings and shit, dog. But once I realized...
He's using woke just like the racist white people use. I'm not surprised.
The fuck the movie was about, it's just like a woke propaganda piece. Because it's...
What was woke about
Propaganda.
Because the meaning behind the movie is the vampires are irrelevant. The vampire is a metaphor for white people appropriating black culture. The black people are in the juke joint having a black time, black owned, we having a good time, this is our shit. And then they play the music, which attracts the vampires, which is also the white people, and they want to get in and get down with the black folks, but the black folks don't let them. So then the vampire.
Now I'm gonna tell y'all something. I never watched the movie until I saw this review, and then I played the first 2 minutes, and then I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna watch the movie, so I know what this is about. I watched it, and I was super confused by this review by Stevie. To categorize this movie as woke, as like white people trying to appropriate black spaces, it was so fucking stupid because it has nothing to do with that. They made the vampire, who's the antagonist, Irish, and I think that flew over a lot of people's head because maybe some people don't know Irish history. But it's actually kind of telling because even in the U.S., Irish people were very heavily discriminated against. Yes. But back in Europe, they were the proverbial punching bag for the royalty. Yep. They got fucked over throughout history. Yep. That's just a reality. And if you pay attention, at one point they started doing Irish parallels with black people. They started doing Irish dances because that was the kind of stuff that helped them get through tough times. And it's a parallel between the black music and how, even in the beginning of the movie, if you pay attention to the plot, in the first 30 minutes, they're explaining what blues comes from. That's why when they talk about those very difficult stories from that slavery era, blues is what came from that and that pain. But all Stevie does is see race, and he didn't even see it during the movie. This is how fucking dumb he is. He saw someone else post something on Twitter. He's like, that's what it is, after the movie, which is very, very weird way to retroactively understand the film. I have watched the film, and if it was woke, I'm telling you right now, I would have fucking hated it. The movie wasn't hyper focused, even though it's not area about race. It was more so.
What y'all think about this setup? This is different. And why look like they in front of a green screen?
How music helps us overcome difficult things. And the vampire wanted the musician because he wanted to be able to create a utopia where everyone would have good music to ease the suffering that they had when they were living. That's what the plot was about. There's a couple other themes, but that's the focus. So him calling it a woke movie is like, sometimes people have political brain and they go into a piece of entertainment and they just start putting their fucking political bullshit on everything. That doesn't say that there aren't movies with propaganda pieces in it. But this movie wasn't it. It's not even his own thoughts. He read someone else's thoughts and then put that shit on the film.
There's a lot of movies that have, like, you could say liberal agendas, propaganda, and a storyline. A message is not propaganda. Propaganda is being very deceptive. You're not telling the truth. You're trying to say a message without telling the truth. Get Out is one of them that has had a message in it. District 9 had another message that you could qualify as woke, where it's a bunch of different classes it was trying to mimic what happens with apartheid, but with robots, right? E.T. The movie E.T. was about being an alien and missing home, being an immigrant and missing home. E.T. phone home. There is a message like that. That's like most movies you watch. There's a message. Yeah. The X-Men was off of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King.
I mean, even when you take it at its face value, it's a lot about discrimination, about the fact that the mutants are discriminated for their abilities and the fear that they have because they're different.
They eventually get in and they take over. So it's like the white people taking over black spaces, right? That's why they try to emphasize how important music is, specifically to black people.
Did you seen at least how they meshed all the musics together and stuff?
No. I was already off at that point, bro. I was already pissed at that point.
I just want to say, just for a quick second, the cinematography in the film was mid, but that's scene was one of the best scenes I've ever seen.
Which one?
The scene where they're doing the music in the juke joint, and it's a one shot, and you're seeing what music and dance was like before 1934. They went back to Africa with African traditional dances. They went to the future. It was a really beautifully shot scene, objectively. Like, that was just one of the best pieces of cinematography. And him just being like, the shit just woke up. I hated it. It's like,
but
really
it's like,
nice.
It's a black movie, and then they put some Asian people in it. It's like too much people together and having fun, and that's just too.
But even the Asian people, the reason why there was Chinese people in the film was even back in 1930s and the early 1900s. There were Chinese people that lived in the South and ran a lot of the markets. Like, Ryan Coogler, I think almost a little bit too much, made a really concerted effort to try to replicate the era as best as possible and the realities of it. So it wasn't like, oh, I want to do diversity for that. No. Back then, there were Chinese people who ran a lot of supermarkets, and it's okay to highlight the history of different people.
Purporting this message behind it, bro. It's like about culture vulture, white appropriation, and how white people are just, vampires sucking black energy.
I watched a movie and I didn't once come out of there and be like, yeah, white people, they be like, I was just like, all right, that was a movie. That's cool. He did his thing.
Black wait. Yeah, I knew it was a black green screen. I fucking knew it. I could tell.
That's cool. He did his thing.
Black folks is just like they're obsessed about race, but like that's all you saw when you watched the film, not realizing there are historical realities of Irish, English, and black folks that are quite different. So it's just a lack of nuance. We're not a monolith, but you went to the most brain dead, anti-woke rhetoric right away.
But this dude is a stick.
Yeah.
He's one-dimensional. He has there's no depth in it.
That's so funny. They wanted to try to at least keep some of the same scenery, so they a picture from their old background, even though they're clearly not there anymore. They're probably like in a studio or something now, and they have to move on up. Period. I support
that there is.
Yeah.
It's just a little odd to get used
people
to.
Like, hey, buddy, how you doing? I'm good. Yourself? All right, Mr. Jones. That was not the reality of those times.
The pretty white girl involved with Michael B. Jordan be the lead cause of everything happening, right? It's because of her the vampires got in the crib. The point of the movie is to demonize white people, right? So the white people come in and take over. But bro, why
got the pretty white girl,
fat girl, be the representation of like
that's so telling, and it just it just really exposes his mindset when he's talking about the white girl. This pretty white girl is a big fat black woman. Just, oh my god, he is so pathetic.
She was the one that knew the shit. She knew how to kill the vampire. She wanted to put everybody on game.
What's the problem with that? So there was not bigger black people? I feel like from what I know, from Yoruba, from
Ndombele, how is that relevant?
That lady that played that role fit
the
role.
It was some fat men in the movie too, like so.
First off, she wasn't fat. She's thick.
She's thick.
She's fat, and it's okay. It's okay. I feel like people use these words as like derogatory terms, and they don't have to be. It's just whatever, bro. And obviously, what you perceive to be fat and is subjective. People would be like, "Oh, that's curvy." Like I posted a video about my weight loss journey. Check it out on my second channel, by the way. I'll put the link down below. But I talked about in that video how I'm obese. Like I traveled and was eating too much every day, eating out every day. I got fat, and I'm like, yeah, I'm obese. And people are just like, no, you're not. I'm just like, nigga. Like, it's okay to acknowledge reality and the truth. If you're overweight, you're overweight. It's okay to say that. So I'm not even offended by him saying that she's a fat black woman, but it's just the way that he spoke about it with such vitriol, like fat black, like it just sounded like he had a problem with her based on that. So that's the issue. But she is more heavy set. And there's nothing wrong with acknowledging that. But he just took it a step further.
Played that role, fit the role.
First off, she wasn't fat.
But whatever. Like I said, it comes down to what you perceive to be fat and what you don't. Like, she's obviously still whatever.
She's thick. She's thick. Like, you make it sound like ladies morbidly obese. One, too. Like, this is why people say you're a sellout. It's like, do you not open up your history books? The kinds of people who survived these slavery. And
also, I'm also brought that up because my friends also do the same thing to me when I say I'm obese. Like, they laugh at me and laugh in my face. I don't appreciate it. And it's like they're laughing because they're like, no, you're not. Like, I think people think because I need to rant about this on my other channel and I will. But people feel like, because you look good, like you're not overweight. That is irrelevant. If you have bigger boobs and a smaller waist and you got thighs and butt, people want to be like, oh, you just thick. You still can be fat and be that size and be that shape. It doesn't, whatever.
People who are capable of being made.
So I'm just a person because I get so annoyed when people are trying to tell me I'm not obese or that. No, you're fine. What do you mean? And like literally laughing at me. I'm like, yeah, I'm obese now. Every single time I say that to my friends, they laugh at me.
A lot of these women, if you go look at old pictures, you see a lot of them. They were on the thicker side. They were on the bigger side. They had to because if you pick cotton on day or if you're doing all these other kinds of things, you have to be sturdy. And you looking at that and the casting is very intentional and shitting on it as if it's wrong or it's bad is crazy. What's more, the point of the movie isn't even that white people are evil, but you keep saying that and then judging the movie, which makes you fucking stupid. I just
he doesn't.
There's so many layers of it, but just listen to his language and like how dehumanizing it is when he refers to the black woman. Her acting performance was phenomenal. I'm gonna defend the white girl as you put her, the pretty white girl. You love to refer to her as that.
That's not even that in the movie.
It's not that she was culturally down or that she's the reason the vampires got in. She was there because it shows that before 1967, when black people or interracial marriage was legalized, a lot of these communities had interactions with each other. If you listen closely to the movie, her mother raised the two main characters. So they had very close proximity. It was very common for white children to have like a nanny who was a black woman and those kids would interact with each other. So there's a lot of intersection between these people. She had to give up her love interest for the main character to be with a white husband because interracial marriage was not allowed. But she still loved all people. That's why when she walked through the juke joint, she was welcomed. Even though she was not black, as you say, nobody had an issue with her. Even the fact that she was wearing silk, these are all intentions. But him just reducing it to like, white people are bad, black people are good, that's what the movie's about. It's like, he doesn't get it.
What would you have preferred? A white savior?
Yeah. There was also a thinner black woman who was a performer and she was getting with the lead singer.
Yeah.
Very thin. He doesn't mention her existence at all, right? Because
yes,
she was
said fat black women. I'm like, it was only one.
All
the other black women was in shape or like of normal size. So whatever.
You guys, my own synopsis of the movie, but you got to listen to how he gives a summary of it because it's very telling.
I went to go see The Sinners last night. Trash. And Michael B. Jordan's one of the main characters, but he plays himself twice because he plays a twin himself, so it's two of him, and they like some prohibition gangsters back then. And
why are you discussing this now? This movie came out months ago.
Buy a barn, they turn the barn into a juke joint, and then like the first 30 minutes is just developing this plot where they're going around recruiting who they need to run the juke joint for the grand opening that night. All right, so they pick up a musician, they pick up a cook, they pick up a security guard, you know what I'm saying, highlight their little stories or whatnot. You see the main love interest, pretty white girl, and she's involved with one of the twins. And then, juke joint's popping, right? And then vampires randomly pull up. They just randomly pull up. And really, that's pretty much it. The story is, there's not much there at all. And there's so many gaping holes throughout just the literal script. And it took entirely too long for the motherfucker to develop for a horror story.
Synopsis is very wrong, and him saying there's no plot. I personally think the movie's about a 6 out of 10. I'm a pretty harsh movie critic. I liked that Ryan Coogler, in my opinion, improved a lot as a director because when you watch that movie, it's substantially better than the previous one. And he took some liberties and some chances here, and there's some good ones. But him saying there's no plot is crazy. Him even describing the first 30 minutes as if it's just like getting people and that's it. Like, he missed everything that happened in the first 30 minutes and how it's incredibly important for the entire setup of the movie in terms of thematics and themes. So, dude doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about from off the top. And a good example of this is, you have the scenes in the beginning with the church and the musician, who's probably one of the most important pieces of the story. And you're seeing the conflict between his wanting to engage in music and his dad, who's a pastor, wanting to go back to church and stay away from the devil's work, which is music. Then you also have the themes about African spiritualism when you have the love interest, who she starts talking about charms. And it's very lightly touched on. They don't do it very directly, but they're clearly hinting towards black folks' history back in Africa and how they kept some of those traditions. Even today, if you go to the south of the USA, you'll find some place where elements of voodoo and some of that spiritualism still exists.
Yeah.
So all these themes are incredibly important because they keep playing throughout the movie. But he just kind of just jumps right past it as if it's unimportant. And he's like, I want to see dope shit. I want to see vampires.
You gotta understand my perspective. I'm coming in this motherfucker looking for horror, looking for vampire, looking for dope shit.
And I think even him saying it's not like a horror, like when a movie's categorized, it's not always perfectly fitting in that. Sometimes there's a lot of comedic elements, a lot of movies are hybrids. So even going in with the expectation that it's going to be a clear-cut horror, like not every horror movie is it,
Yeah.
With the clown. Like a lot of them are thrillers, they're dramas, there's a lot more involved. So
I can understand that that movie was not the most hardcore horror movie that you can see out there.
Mm-hmm.
But because of the elements that's in there, unfortunately, it fits into horror.
Yeah.
You can't fit it into a thriller.
Mm-hmm.
You can't fit it into an action movie because there are elements of horror. You're going to have to put it in horror.
Yeah.
And because some people really don't want to see that gore stuff, so you have to put it in there, unfortunately. So even when sometimes when you pitch ideas, and I have, it's not you.
Oh, they put
you
it
have to
in
decide where that movie's going to fall into. So
and they have to do that. Because
no, they have to put it in a category.
They have to do it.
They have to put it in a category for awareness, or even just when they're going to play it, who they're going to play it to.
Yeah.
You're just here and writing your stuff, and you're not even thinking it's a PG-13 movies, but the people that you're going to project the film to, you're going to see like, oh yeah, you have to pitch the movie so that they're able to play it. They're looking at the movie, they're looking at the script, and because of certain elements that check the boxes, that's going to be PG-13 movie. You were not thinking about that. You were thinking about making a movie. You're not thinking about making a horror movie, but because of certain elements that are checked in,
right.
it falls into a horror movie. That
I agree. So I guess, yeah, people can call it that, but it wasn't even scary. And listen, I watch a lot of horror movies, so maybe that's why I'm just like, but it does have those horror aspects, I guess. I'm gonna stop the video here. Y'all can check it out. I'm gonna link it down below. But this is like such an old issue, so I'm like, why are they talking about this now? And I mean, he did kind of touch on it in the beginning, but this is an old movie, and I'm tired of talking about it. I feel like people talked about this to death, and I'm just not interested anymore in breaking this movie down again for the millionth time. So I'm gonna head out personally, but I mean, it does reveal Stevie's self-hating mindset for sure. It further reveals that. But I mean, I've already decided that he's a self-hating coon based on the previous videos I saw. So I didn't need more evidence, but sure, they want to provide more evidence of that, I guess. And I'm sure this intensifies their beef. I'm sure that Stevie will not be happy with this video, and he will say something, and then they will start beefing again more aggressively. And maybe that's their plan. They're evil. I've been preaching, maybe this is their evil plan, you know, so that Stevie can get triggered, and you know, they can have more content. They can go back and forth. Maybe this is what they want to do. I don't know. But yeah, I don't agree with Stevie at all regarding this movie. He's very, very slow. Y'all let me know what y'all think though, and I'll see y'all on the next time. Bye.